talking about this Bears game, the ironic thing for me, but it's like Philly was so disrespectful to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that, the only way they could have made it into the playoffs is if Chicago won. So
Yes.
Chicago wins. Of course, they win their game against the Redskins, get into the playoffs, and then they beat them at home. Like that was, to me, I was like, man, that's ironic that the team that you probably wanted to play was the team that gave it to you. When you watch this game from top to bottom, what were your feelings of Chicago's offensive plan? Because I kind of thought at times they seemed a little bit anemic. The Eagles had issues with turnovers and stuff, but people kind of thought Trubisky and that offense would do a little bit more than they were able to do against Eagles defense, who was kind of like, they're kind of weak on the backside, because they have injuries and other things. What did you kind of feel about the offensive output?
I felt that I felt that the Bears should have stuck with their offensive scheme that they've been doing all year, which was run the ball. Between Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen, they've had a phenomenal backfield. Tariq Cohen has had a phenomenal year. I wish I would have picked him up in fantasy instead of Jordan Howard, honestly.
Yeah, I slept on that.
Me too. I definitely slept on that. But I wish that the Bears would have stuck to their game plan. I feel that they made Trubisky too much into a passer. I'm looking at the stats right here. Completed 26 of 43 of his passes, 300 yards, which is good the yardage wise, but the completion percentage is not that great. I just felt that they were asking too much of him. I think if they would have run the ball a little bit more, they would have create more of those passing out of the backfield plays for Tariq Cohen and even get Trey Burton. Trey
Burton vanished this year. I'll be honest.
Did.
They paid him a lot of money, and he practically disappeared in spots. And I don't know if it's they're not drawing up plays for him or what, but he struggled.
Yeah, he did, and I feel that they needed to get him more in the game. Allen Robinson, 143 yards. I think that was awesome. Trubisky did a great job of spreading the ball around the field, but they got to get their tight end in there next year, I think, and they need to stick with that running game because that's the best thing they have going for them. I think Trubisky, his accuracy is not there, but he definitely has an arm. So if he can improve his accuracy, I think they're in a good shape for next year.
Definitely. The running game thing, that's a big deal.
It is.
Especially when you're playing against a line like Philly. Philly has an amazing front four. And as a matter of fact, they don't even call blitzes.
They don't.
They just let it happen, because those guys can get the pressure that they need. So they just cover the back end, let them do their thing up front. And when you run the ball, you can wear a team down. And it's cold outside. Nobody wants to get hit. First couple times somebody runs into you, it's cool. By the second half, you're like, oh, no, not today. You know what I mean?
It's cold in Soldier Field.
Yeah, super cold. So on the other side, talking about the quarterback play, how impressed were you with Nick Foles? Because I was very impressed with what he was able to do.
I was impressed with Nick Foles. I think he has a little bit of magic there. I think that there's a little bit of luck in there, but I don't know. He does something with the offense. It's when it's Nick Foles is out there, Zach Ertz is not the only receiver. Alshon Jeffrey comes into the picture. This guy Godier comes into the picture.
Golden Tate.
They all come to the picture, you know, and I don't know what it is.
You know what I think might be the issue? I kind of feel like Nick Foles goes through all of his reads, right? So when you play with a guy who may look for you at any given time, everybody's antenna goes up. He's like, yo, I got to play now because the ball might come to me.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And the other quarterback, I mean, he's good. They're a normal starter. But it's something about Nick Foles, the way he spreads the ball around. And I get the feeling by the way people play hard for him that he's just a likable dude. He seemed like he's down to earth, Christian dude, probably has lots of fun because as soon as he gets in the game, like all of a sudden everybody supports him and they're ready to roll. And also he's got a little resume behind him. You don't win a championship and nobody not believing you anymore.
He does.
He just wasn't the starter this year, but he's very capable of carrying your squad. So the nice thing about it was he came out and the thing about it, like he never throws for 500 and 600 yards. He doesn't have gaudy numbers, but he seems to always make the right play at the right time.
Just in time.
Right. Like that pass to Golden Tate.
Yes.
Golden Tate makes some big catches yesterday. There was a lot of talk about Golden Tate and people not being confident in that trade that they made. What did you think about his performance yesterday and how, a lot of the naysayers will probably get quiet now about that?
I think it was a good – I think that the Golden Tate trade was a good pickup for him. However, I'm still not convinced that they needed Golden Tate. He had 5 receptions for 46 yards and a touchdown. His numbers were just okay. It's nothing that I was impressed about.
Okay.
I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, now the trade is worth it," just because he got a touchdown. I don't believe that sets the qualifications of him being worth it, because I don't think they really needed him. However,
For that catch, maybe.
for that catch, maybe he did.
Yeah.
But just overall looking at it, Golden Tate is very good. I just didn't think. I still don't believe in the beginning when they first made the trade. I stood by my opinion on, wow, they didn't need to do that trade.
Right.
They maybe needed somebody on their secondary. Maybe two pieces in their secondary.
Now
but their
that's true.
secondary is playing pretty good. They're looking like they're gel. Maddox, he's playing back there. He's playing out of his mind right now. He had interception. I think one went and then one didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Golden Tate, I like the trade because I like Golden Tate. Do I think that the Eagles needed him? No.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing I will give him is this. In Detroit, we fed him the ball a lot.
Mhm.
So he made a lot of catches. He get like 5-6 catches a game, maybe get 60 yards, 70 yards and touchdown, which you could always count on.
Yep.
It seems as though the role he's playing with the Eagles is more of, I don't want to say a possession receiver, but he's kind of like a big play receiver. He does not drop the ball on the ground, and he's able to get yards after catch.
Yes.
So there were like a couple of catches last night outside of that touchdown he caught that were huge. Like, I don't know if you saw the one catch that he kind of made on the left side of the field, and the guy collided with him.
Yes,
And,
that
I
was
mean,
a big
anybody
hit.
else probably would have dropped that ball.
Mhm.
But he took the hit. He limped off the field. Like, those are the type of catches that make him who he is, not unless you just make him a focal part of the offense, because he's really not. Alshon Jeffrey seems to be more on the same wavelength as Nick Foles.
Yes, I think he is. So here's what here's our response to the Golden Tate comment that you just made. I feel that in Detroit he played exceptional, and I loved Golden Tate, and I think he had a very good relationship with Matt Stafford. My only issue with him in Philly is they seem like they're putting him in the same role that he was in Detroit, but I feel like they have someone like that already in Philly, which is Zach Ertz.
Okay.
And I feel that that's why the Zach Ertz production has kind of went down between that and Nick Foles coming in and he spreads the ball, and then Golden Tate coming in, I think is going to bring down Zach Ertz's production as long as he's there, because they kind of do the same thing unless they change the game plan next year. We don't know.
Okay.
But that's why I thought, like, during the year when they made the trade, that it wasn't really necessary.
Okay. Before we get into the next matchup, because that's going to be a big game next week,
Yes,
we have to talk about your boy, the only person in the world that probably needs a hug right now, and that's Cody Parkey, the guy whose name you forgot.
Oh, yes.
That was the most interesting thing to me, because he looked, first of all, the field goal wasn't that far away, like for field goal kicking standards. A little chilly, wasn't super windy.
It wasn't.
He kicks the first one, the timeout happens. At first I thought, well, maybe they're going to ice him, and then the field goal misses. And I'm looking, and I'm like, wow, that's really weird. And then it bounced off that upright, drops down. I thought it was going to still go over like a layup off the front of the rim, but then it completely misses, and he can't believe he missed it. And everybody boos him. Everybody makes a big deal about it. And somehow later on, after the game, you see a replay where somebody actually kind of touched the ball and tipped it.
Yeah.
So it may not exactly be his fault for completely missing that, but he feels really bad.
Yeah, I did see the replay of him touching it. He touched it, but I don't think it should have affected it that much. But hey, it's possible.
Yeah.
There's not. I don't believe that there was much to really say about it. We definitely know that he's out of here. They said on ESPN yesterday that the statistics of him actually hitting the upright that many times throughout the season is nearly impossible.
He did. He hit it like 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, NBC was so kind as to show every single mistake right afterwards. Doink, doink, doink. I was like, wow. Like, they had that queued up. They were ready. They were ready.
Hats off to Doug Peterson for calling that timeout, though. He iced them right there, and then, he missed it the second time around.
Yeah. And you know what? It might have gone in if that guy not touched it.
It might have.
But the thing that burns the most for him is that Philly cut him because they didn't think he was good. And I remember he was missing all those field goals. Mm-hmm. So you go to a team, you have a chance to beat your old team and make them look like fools, and you don't do it.
Honestly, I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He used to play for them. That burns. That burns really bad. And he had just walked off the field. I mean, he's right now probably on suicide watch somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I did hear that Kobe sent a message out on Twitter in so many words telling him, like, be better next year, break all the records. Like, don't let this get you down. which is very nice of Kobe. Which actually, Kobe to me has not been one of those people that I would consider the most supportive dude in the locker room. But post retirement,
He's a therapist now.
Yeah, he picks people up, he pats them on the back. He's like, hey, you can be better next time. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Parky, but I know right now he cannot show his face.
No,
he cannot show his face. So.